jungle.
Fox News reporter defends sanctuary cities, Sarah destroys him as whole world watches. During Wednesday's press briefing at the White House, a reporter for Fox News seemingly defended cities across the nation which offer sanctuary for dangerous illegal aliens rather than allowing ICE to deport them. Luckily, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders quickly put him in his place, destroying the insolent reporter as the whole world was watching. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders took a variety of questions from reporters at Wednesday's White House press briefing, but one of the first was regarding the Trump administration's relationship with so-called sanctuary cities. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, CIS, an independent, nonpartisan, nonprofit research organization founded in 1985 as the nation's only think tank devoted exclusively to research and policy analysis of the economic, social, demographic, fiscal, and other impacts of immigration on the United States, a sanctuary jurisdiction is defined by the following. These cities, counties, and states have laws, ordinances, regulations, resolutions, policies, or other practices that obstruct immigration enforcement and shield criminals from ICE, either by refusing to or prohibiting agencies from complying with ICE detainers, imposing unreasonable conditions on detainer acceptance, denying ICE access to interview incarcerated aliens, or otherwise impeding communication or information exchanges between their personnel and federal immigration officers. A detainer is the primary tool used by ICE to gain custody of criminal aliens for deportation. It is a notice to another law enforcement agency that ICE intends to assume custody of an alien and includes information on the alien's previous criminal history, immigration violations, and potential threat to public safety or security. A complete list of all the sanctuary cities in the United States can be found on the CIS website. It is alarmingly extensive. The Department of Justice announced in November that sanctuary jurisdictions would lose access to certain federal law enforcement grants if they prohibit officials from communicating with ICE, if they block ICE from interviewing jail inmates, and if they fail to notify ICE of the pending release of criminal aliens whom ICE is seeking to deport. These particular grants which sanctuary cities stand to lose, known as the Burn Justice Assistance Grants, are the largest source of federal criminal justice funds for state, local, and tribal authorities. Still, that has not stopped a staggering number of cities across the country from continuing to offer sanctuary to illegal immigrants, even though many of them are violent criminals who have already been deported from the U.S. multiple times for previous offenses. The Justice Department is threatening 23 so-called sanctuary cities, including New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles with subpoenas if they fail to provide documents to show whether local law enforcement officials are sharing information with federal immigration authorities. What's the White House's view on this? Sarah Sanders was asked on Wednesday by Fox News correspondent Kevin Corke. According to the Daily Caller, President Donald Trump's spokeswoman said that the White House does not support sanctuary cities, but instead supports enforcing and following the law, noting that the Department of Justice is just doing its job. Corke then asked how that decision will impact the White House's relationship with the mayors of sanctuary cities. Sanders drew a hard line, stating emphatically, "We cannot allow people to pick and choose what laws to follow. If we have a country with no laws, then nothing matters," White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said. "So we cannot allow a few individual people to decide they don't want to follow the rules. You guys wouldn't be allowed to do that in your own networks and outlets, and the federal government cannot allow people to act independently and completely ignore the law." If reporters like Kevin Corke have such an issue with our laws here in the United States, they are free to move elsewhere. Plenty of nations have open borders, but you don't see Democrats moving to any of them, do you? Perhaps it's time for these mouthy immigration enthusiasts to put their money where their mouths are and get to packing.